protective behavior of dogs over their owners may be summarized into a few main reasons: loyalty, concern for themselves and for their owner. Stay tuned and keep an eye on this. Many people are aware that the world is filled with cruelty, but perhaps the most widely recognized forms of cruelty are cruelty to animals and cruelty to children. Dogs make the world a better place by their unfailing love, and in today's video, we get to see just how devoted these little animals are. In 2015, the event took place. The protagonist, an stray canine with an adult demeanor, wandered the streets in search of food. Nevertheless, his search was always exhausting and he was becoming weaker. One day, while looking in a garbage dump, he was drawn to the whimpering of a newborn baby with its umbilical cord still attached to its body. This brave dog gently lifted the baby in his mouth around the chest, as if he knew the chest would be the child's strongest part, and carried her off the ground. We'll find out her entire story at the end of the video, but first, like and share it with others. And make sure you're subscribed and have the notifications bell turned on. He took the baby to the nearest family home, placed her on the porch, and sat with her until help arrived. The dog kept barking, expecting someone to come out of his house. When the family noticed the loud barking, they opened the door to find the baby on their doorstep. After all, the baby was frail, and her chances of survival were slim. Nonetheless, the doctors did everything they could to help the baby regain his or her strength and breath. After all of the commotion, Oman's authorities began to investigate what happened to the baby. This stray dog's actions were nothing short of heroic. After all, he almost saved a human life from the jaws of death. The dog was starving, and the baby was in critical condition. Despite this, the animal paused in his search for food to perform a memorable act. You could argue that our story's hero acted more humanely than many humans. But wait, there's another case similar to this one. Angels of protection do exist, an adorable little dog who has been praised all over the UK after showing up at a critical time for a newborn who had been abandoned. Derry Walsh, the husky's owner, was taking the dog for a walk last week when the dog came across a pile of blankets under a bush in Birmingham. He heard this baby crying all of a sudden, said Walsh, 64, in an interview with a local media outlet in his hometown. According to WOW, the baby was wrapped in a blanket and was probably only a few hours old when he was discovered. The man followed his dog's lead and discovered the abandoned baby, taking him to the nearest hospital without hesitation. The baby, thankfully, was healthy and strong. He was named George by Walsh and the police officers in charge of the case because he was discovered the day before St. George's Day. Walsh told Birmingham Life that things could have been much worse. The baby could have died, and he told his neighbors that heaven dispatched hell to save a newborn baby. George is safe and sound, and police received CCTV footage of a woman seen walking near the scene about 30 minutes before George was discovered and asked the public for assistance in identifying her. Whatever occurs, we wish George the best. However, there's another lovely story about Pooty, who was a dog who saved the life of a 1-month-old baby in Argentina. The dog, noticing the baby's presence, and most likely, the baby's gentleness and lack of temperature, picked and covered him with her body in the same way she does with her pups. 3 of Veranda Pino, according to the FM radio portal, the incident occurred in the early hours of July 12, 2015. The following morning, the child was discovered by the landowners, who fed him and took him to the hospital. Jose Aquiza, a maternal infantile, where he received medical attention. The source of all of this has been identified. The mother was immediately arrested and subjected to the full force of the law, while Santino and his other siblings, yes, the woman had more children, were taken to a maternal home by order of the judge involved in the case. A rather ominous fact, but one with a happy ending because of a caring dog mother.